Welcome to a quick guide to your class in GradPoint. What I hope to do today is show you a couple tips and tricks and help you learn how to guide your way through the class and be successful in this course. So let's get started. Okay, this is your home screen. This is what you'll see when you log into GradPoint. You can always return to this screen by clicking here on this little house button. That'll bring you to the home screen, which is what you see here. In here, there's a couple things I want you to notice. First of all, you have a list of what's due, what's coming up, what assignments are due for the week, and it gives you a little clue as to what you should be working on that week. You also have a list of your courses here, and if you click on the course name or this little view link down here, it'll show you what your class looks like, and this is a main screen for your class, and I'll show you what that looks like in the next slide. You also have a little link over here that'll take you to the grades, and that'll give you a full page grade update so you can see how you're doing in the class. And then finally down here are the announcements. So if your teachers have posted announcements, or if GradPoint posts any announcements, or if the school posts any announcements, that's where you'll find them and you can click on them and see what they have to say. All right? All right, so this is the main screen for your class, or what we would say under here under the View tab here is what you're looking at. And this allows you to look at the class. One thing I want to point out before we go any further is if you notice up here, I have two tabs open. This one here is my GradPoint class, and that's the tab I'm looking at. But I've also logged into my Beacon Gmail account and left that open. And the reason I do that is a lot of the assignments and things we use Google Docs for. And if you're not logged into your Gmail account, then you can't have access to these things. So make sure that's one of the things you want to have open up while you're working on your classes. Notice in the class we have our modules here. The first one is going to be important course information. Then we get into the next lessons and the next units as we go through. This one here starts off with the course agreement, which you have to do first, and then some information about your instructor, and then some contact information. Over here is where you're going to see the content that you can work with, and that'll get you there for it. There's one tab I want to show you for sure, and that's this communicate here. If you click on the arrow, it'll give you an option, and one of those says to email your instructor. And that's the easiest way to contact your teacher in the class. You just click on that communicate, it'll say email my teacher, and that's what you'll do, and send a message to your teacher. And that way they know what class it is and all of that kind of fun stuff for you, and they can help out. The other tab you might be interested in is the grades. That'll show you how you're doing. So let's take a look at what you would see in the grades. Okay, let's talk a little bit about grades here. When you click on the grades tab, it'll give you a full page with a listing of all your grades, but I wanted to show you what you're going to see. In the upper left-hand corner is where you're going to see this box over here. The primary parts you want to see is this one here. It'll show you when the end of the term is, this due date. You'll also see this section here, which shows you how much of the class you've completed. And as you turn in assignments, this is going to be going up, and it'll kind of give you a clue as to how far you're getting. But the big key is this score right here, and this is what your grade is. This is showing you how you're doing in the class. It is a walkaway grade, which means that if you were to say I'm done and walk away from the class, that's what you're going to earn for the class. So if you want to pass and you want credit, you need a minimum of a 60% for the score. Okay? One of the things I want to remind you is when you have the grade that you want in the class, go ahead and email your teacher and let them know that you are done, and they will post the grade for you. So if you want to be in the class and you have an 80%, you can let your teacher know, and they will post that 80% into the grade book for you. In the upper right hand corner, there's this really cool tool here. It's called the what if calculator. If you click on that one, it'll show you what your grades are with a bunch of empty boxes. You can go in there and say, I'm going to get 100% on this assignment. Click recalculate, and it'll show you how it will affect your grades. You can kind of see where you're at and what you need to get done. Okay, finally we have some hints for you. If you're in the View tab and you take a look, you'll see that there's all these different icons, and I wanted to go over what those icons mean. The first one is this page with the lines on it, and these are generally your assignments and lessons, and they're going to be worth some points, so you'll need to complete them as it is there for you. Next up is this blank page, and these are going to be for activities and information. Normally they're not graded, but they can be, but you generally have to complete them to move on. In order to complete it, you need to spend enough time there, or in the lower right hand corner, you'll see this mark as activity is complete box. And when you check that one, it'll show that you've done whatever was required on the page. The last one are the quizzes here, and that's the blue box with the question mark in it. With these, it's generally your quizzes and your tests, but it can be other activities like a lab or something of that nature. When you see that one, look in the lower right hand box and you'll click on this start box. It'll pop up a confirmation box that says, do you want to start now? And of course you're going to want to. And then in the lower right hand corner, you'll see these two options here. If you're working on it for a while, if it's something long, you might want to save it every once in a while. That way, if your computer does crash or you have to leave, you can come back to where you're at. If you don't save it and come back, it'll actually start you all over again. And then when you are all done, you want to make sure you click this submit button here, and that's how you'll turn the activity in and let it get graded. Okay, so what do you do if you have a problem? Well, first and foremost, you will contact your teacher. In the GradPoint classes, you can click on the communicate and select email, and it will send an email to your teacher so that you can let them know what's going on, and that'll tell them what class you're in. Other ways you can contact your teacher are going to be down here in this contact information section for you. So generally give your teacher about a day to respond back. We do it a little bit faster than that, but that's about the common courtesy. If it's been longer than a day, or if it's an emergency, or if it's a technical issue with your computer or the program, then go ahead and email support@banv.org, and they will be more than happy to help you as well. Okay, but hopefully you won't have any problems, and this will have answered most of your questions. But if you do have any, don't hesitate to contact your teacher, and good luck with the class.